الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسوله الكريم المبعوث رحمة للعالمين وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. So first question, and it is a common question, and through the years I had it a few times already, which is, I'm struggling with my thoughts. It's challenging. Shall I pay attention to what I'm feeling and I'm hearing in my head? What should I do? Which people I should hang out with? Which book I read? What to wear? What is my role here in life? What is it that I'm supposed to be doing? Do I have a choice or I don't? Can I choose what to do, or these thoughts are something I have to handle and I don't have a choice? So the question is about thoughts. It's about unsettled or uncleared, let's say, a vision that is not clear. There is a blur. So usually the question comes with, I don't know what to do. I'm struggling. Do I have a choice to choose where to go or not? And should I be listening to these thoughts and those ideas that come to my head or not? So my answer to this question always come within those lines. First, if you are away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, find a way to Him. Of course, that can sum it up. If you are away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, find a way and start your journey to Him. You started from Him. He created you. He made you. There are a lot came to your life. Lots of people, lots of events, lots of places. A lot came into your life. There are things that left a mark on you, positive, and another mark that's negative, another mark that is confusing and a struggle. But you still have a mashi'a, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran, a will to choose which path you want to take to Him, or if you want to take a path to Him to start with. So the struggle comes from being away from Him. The question you ask me now, why are you saying that? So I'm going now to show you on the screen verses from the Quran that give you the light, that if you're close to Him, you're able to see very well, you're able to decide very well. If you're not deciding, or if you don't know what to do, or if you're not sure what are you doing here, it means you are not yet close enough with your heart, with your thoughts, with your ideas, with the Quran. And you need to get that closeness as soon as you can. So first verse I'll share with you is this one. It's in Surah Ash-Shura, verse number 52. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم وكذلك أوحينا إليك روحا من أمرنا ما كنت تدري ما الكتاب ولا الإيمان ولكن جعلناه نورا نهدي به من نشاء من عبادنا وإنك لتهدي إلى صراط مستقيم. So جعلناه نورا who and وكذلك أوحينا إليك روحا من أمرنا. So I will see here, let's see together what they said about أوحينا. أوحينا means we have revealed. إليك to you, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is talking to the messenger. Ruh to let's say Adam alayhi salam, to make him alive. So ruh brings life. So one said a spirit. Revelation, we sent our command, but they didn't say, they didn't really talk about ruhan in here. Revealed to you in inspiration from our command. So ruh, you know, if you know the word ruh or familiar with it, it's what's keeping your body alive. So the wahi from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to the messenger, we know it's the Quran. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala called the Quran ruh, which means if you are close to the Quran, if you recite it on daily basis, if you are close to it, trying to understand it, opening it up, trying to dive into the words and further go beyond, you have life extra. But as let's say extra. I don't have a proof that it's extra or not. You have a ruh, you have a life from the Quran inside of you. Why? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala called it ruh. ما كنت تدري ما الكتاب ولا الإيمان. You didn't have any idea. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling the messenger. You didn't know what is the book and what is the iman. ولكن, however, جعلناه نورا. We have made it light. نهدي به من نشاء من عبادنا. We show the way with it because it's a nur. Imagine you have a torch or a source of light. As you're going, you see where you're going. What is the nur in this case? What is the light in this case? Is Al Quran Al Kareem. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, أوحينا إليك روحا من أمرنا. And then he said, however, we have made it nur. We have made it, the Quran, light. And when you come here, we have made it a light. But we have made it a light. So if you have a light, if you have that source, you can see clearly. The blur is going to clear. You're going to change the blur, the vision that is unsettled and unclear. And imagine having a glass that's not cleaned or foggy. Having the Quran is a light. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said that. He made it light. So when you start having those thoughts and what am I doing here? Do I have a choice or not? Do I have to listen to these negative thoughts or not? Do I have to do those bad things? Or do I have to do them because I have to? And they have just made them my life and I have to follow that? Or do I have a choice to stop doing these things and change the way I live to something else? I tell you, recite Quran. So if you know few surahs, if you know Surah Al-Fatiha, استعيذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم, بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم, and start reciting Surah Al-Fatiha. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم, مالك يوم الدين, إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين, اهدنا الصراط المستقيم. You're saying, اهدنا الصراط المستقيم, guide us, show us the path, show us the straight path. So when you start reciting, you start getting ruh. Right? And when you start getting ruh as well, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying you start getting light, so you see better. The question is, by reciting Surah Al-Fatiha, like is suggested now, do I get the light instantly? Do I feel better right away? I tell you, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said He made it light. So continue to recite. The more you do, Surah Al-Fatiha, Surah Al-Nas, Surah Al-Ikhlas, Surah Al-Falaq. If you know from Surah Al-Kahf, recite. If you know from other surah, recite. If you know how to read Quran, do recite. But if you know the Arabic and you don't know yet how to recite it or how to say it properly, join a class. Then that is the start of your journey. Putting that half an hour, 45 minutes in the week or twice a week, for you to be closer to the Quran will change the way you live and the way you think, because you're going to start having what? Light. So that's the first verse I want to share with you. Second one is from Surah An-Nur. So the surah's title is The Light. And in verse 35, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, Allahu nurus samawati wal ard. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the light of as-samawat, of the skies and the earth. All the coming in the rest of the verses is to explain, just to give you example of how you think of Allah as light. And I'm going to share a translation or two so you can read from the screen. But what we're looking for here is the word nur. So Allahu nur samawati wal ard, nur means light. And then he said here, nurun ala nur, light upon light. After Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala explained to you from so many examples and so many beautiful, beautiful ways, how to think of his light, of him subhanahu wa ta'ala, he said, this is nur upon nur. In other words, if you worry about pleasing him, if you think about him, if you're saying astaghfirullah, alhamdulillah, oh Allah, you are very close to him. And if you're close to him, you're close to light. And if you're close to light, you will see better. Definitely. Look here, I'm leaving here for you a few suggestions of understanding of the verse. Niche in which there is a lamp. The lamp is in a crystal. One said a crystal, the other one said glass, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the verse said glass, zujaja. It has that pearly white like a star. But then he said light upon light. That's Allah's nur. And that's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because he said he is the light of the skies and the earth. You are close to him, you're close to light. And if you have light, you can see. How can you be close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Of course, like we said in the first point, and how we learned from the first verse, recite Quran, understand it, spend time to make your recitation beautiful. These are his words. You're bringing ruh to your body, you're bringing light to yourself. Second, pray. Guard your prayers. So if you are away from the prayers, if you do them last minute, or if you forget about them during the day, I advise you to make for yourself a plan to guard them. Through the prayer, you are connecting, you're talking to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. By facing the Qibla, by going into ruku' and sujood, you are with him. You are in front of him, you're closer to him. When you do that, you are closer to the source of light. So therefore, you will see better. Okay. I'm now on to the next point, and it's in the next verse. And this is verse 28 in Surah Al-Hadid, Surah number 57. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say here, or calling upon all those who believe. So if you are from those who believe and trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and find their safety close to him subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving you now, is calling upon you. Ya ayyuhal ladhina amanu. Abdullah ibn Mas'ud radiallahu anhu, the companion, said, whenever you hear Ya ayyuhal ladhina amanu in the Quran, listen carefully, because it's whether goodness you're ordered to do or evil you're ordered to stay away from. So here, Ya ayyuhal ladhina amanu ittaqullah. Taqwa, inshallah, in another recording, I will post in details and further details what does at-taqwa mean. I found out through classes and through talking to many people. Some think or understand taqwa is fear, and I cannot blame them. In the translation, usually they translate taqwa as fear. Taqwa isn't fear. Taqwa is to be mindful of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to know who he is, and therefore you're shielding, you're protecting yourself from his anger or from fire. So ittaqullah means make a protection shield between you and Allah's anger. Watch those sources of things that upset him or expose you to his anger subhanahu wa ta'ala. Ittaqullah, be mindful of Allah, protect yourself from his punishment. وَآمِنُوا بِرَسُولِهِ, and trust and believe in his messenger. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala called upon the iman in you. Called you الذين آمنوا, those who trust. Be mindful of him and believe and trust in his messenger. I have met people that believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but they have a problem in understanding the messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, or knowing why they should believe him or follow him. Both of them are together. Be mindful of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So if you are doing something that you know Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not happy about, that you know he's saying don't do, it's harmful for your body or harmful for someone else. It could be a language, a certain language you are using, a certain attitude you are behaving, how you talk to others, how you talk to Allah, how you respect your appointments, how you spend your time. So many. So the guidance here, or the teachings here, to protect yourself. Be mindful of what you're doing. These are minutes and hours that will never come back when they pass, when they go on. And believe in his messenger and trust him. Trust what you learned from him. Then you're promised with يُؤْتِكُمْ كِفْلَيْنِ مِنْ رَحْمَتِهِ. He will give you twice the dose, or twice the size, or twice the gift of mercy. Kiflain. Double the amount of mercy. You were supposed to get one mercy. No, now you're getting two. And back to the question in the beginning, which is the question of, I don't know, I'm struggling. So you need rahmah from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. All what you have to do is these two. If there is something you're doing that you know it's against what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala order, stop it right away. And trust and believe in his messenger and trust what you learned from him. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala promised to give you double the mercy. And that's what you need. يَجْعَلْ لَكُمْ نُورًا تَمْشُونَ بِهِ. And he will give you, subhanahu wa ta'ala, gives you light so you can walk with it. So when you go around, you have a source of light inside you to show you the way, to show you the path. So, and promised you as well, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has promised you something else. وَيَغْفِرْ لَكُمْ. And he forgives you. وَاللَّهُ غَفُورٌ رَحِيمٌ. So all these are promises after promises, but after you do the previous. If you don't know what iman is, if you don't know what taqwa is, if you don't know how to believe and trust in his messenger, then this should be your focus. And when you start your journey to do that, you are engaging in what he ordered you to do. Therefore, you'll get mercy after mercy from him, and you get the light that you need so you can see everything clearly. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us light from him, Allahumma ameen, and guide us to the best way, Allahumma ameen. I hope that was beneficial for you. Jazakumullah khairan for listening. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.